great question is whether or not the web has been a force for democratization, whether it has made us all equal. The press feel somehow their authority is under threat. And through things like Twitter and Facebook, individuals and celebrities and politicians are finding other mouthpieces, other ways of connecting.
The U.S. newspapers, they are folding at an alarming rate.
Dozens of newspapers have vanished in the United States.
There were no other journalism jobs. I was wondering if I was going to have to go work at Starbucks.
The internet is about human beings conforming to the needs of technology as understood by the market.
What you have with the internet is a world on the one hand where a lot of young men, and they tend to be young men, spout a lot of nonsense, in my view, about democratization and egalitarianism and the opening up of everything. On the other hand, these young men are becoming infinitely rich and powerful.
On their first day of trading as a public company, they raised $1.7 billion in cash and made the stock of Google as valuable as General Motors.
Nothing is free. You are paying for your free guardian. You're just paying for it by buying the computer and buying the online time and getting the new computer and then buying the computer for your kid, and then paying for the power. You are still paying, you're just paying different companies.
Shares of Google, the company that
forgot the word Google.
His name is Google.
A new study says that Google's
search... Google has shelled out 60 million euros to the French government.
The web is the digital version of capitalism, and social media is the next stage in post-industrial capitalism.
The web, I think, is a great leveling because the means of production to have your voice heard, to find an audience, to join in, have been hugely costly in the past. You've needed recording studios or television studios or printing presses. Now someone with an iPhone can post a video, make a podcast, connect to someone else. Anyone with the means of communication through a computer can have access potentially to a vast audience. In that sense, it has completely blown apart and leveled access to communications and collaboration. You can have your say and find your audience, find collaborators in ways that were never possible before.
Now when you take this model and you empower the rest of the world with the opportunity to create their content, of course, you're going to have a lot of stuff that, potentially is being produced that isn't meaningful to anyone in particular. But again, you're going to have a small amount of the content or individuals having an opportunity to rise to the top.
Johnny, that really hurt! I like turtles.
From time to time, just have inspirational stories. You have political candidates leveraging the system. You have, people just capturing moments and having a chance to share them with the world, and people using it as a resource to be informed. And I think education is being redefined. It's not necessarily about memorization. It's about finding, searching for answers. You have an infinite amount of resources or information available to you. And I think this next generation, they're much more knowledgeable about any topic that you can think of.
It's created a new menu of options for us to get things done together in new ways. That is significantly different. So in that sense, it's not simply reflecting how society is, it's opening up options for us to behave and be in different ways.
You can point to, and always try to stereotype what YouTube or other services are all about, that it's just amateur, it's about funny cat videos, these types of things, but they lose sight of the fact that we have a factor of 100,000 times more people actually creating quality content than we ever had in the past.
The internet is an edge technology. It has no center. It's no coincidence then that it reflects the ideology of the people who invented it.
I think the web is a reflection of society. The web is pornography, gossip, flirting, power plays, people making money. I mean, the web isn't a sort of utopian collective. It's life reflected on the web. But the nature of the web, because it allows this ability to create a very distributed way and for people to connect and collaborate, it makes things possible in ways that they weren't before. It's now possible to collaborate more effectively than ever before without having a traditional organization. And that's what's really significant about it.
Get it, with that booty on me. Shawty, you a dime.